this. Okay, now we're going to talk about let's start off with the array command, and then we'll talk about the copy and the move. Excuse me. The book sort of explains the array command, but on the other hand, it might not be exactly how, there's different ways of doing it. So I'll show you a simpler way, perhaps. All right. If you've got something like this, you want to array that. You hit the array. There's 3 different arrays you can do. Generally, we'll always have that one and the bottom one, the polar array. But let's try with the rectangular first, and we'll do polar later. Okay, so rectangular array. All we do, we click on here, and we press enter. That's the bit we want to array. So it comes up with this. Okay, so what you can do with that, ignoring what it says here, notice up the top what happened. This new sort of ribbon thing came up. What you can do is click here and drag this thing to as many columns as you wish and rows. Okay, so that's just I'll just repeat it so you can see what I've done. So when array, I clicked on here, I pressed enter. By the way, enter, spacebar is also an enter for those of you that just a revision there. Now once that's up, I can click on here and just drag it up, and it gives me a few more options. There you go. Now you can get it about right as to how many you need, but really to fine tune it, you come here. The book does refer to spacing. This is the bit that is the spacing, the in-between bits. Alright, so say in between is supposed to be 9, you just put in 9, and it's supposed to be 9 there, you put in 9 there. So there you go. Now if that's too many rows and columns, you can change it. You can change your columns to say, I don't know, 4, 5, whatever. So 1 less, and maybe you want 3 rows, change that. So it's like a form you fill in. Alright, now what if I wanted these to be below, not up from where I started? Well, you can just put in, it's like the x and y coordinates, you can put minus y, so minus 9, and press enter, and it goes down. Alright, so there it is. So that's how you do it. If I want to go the other way, of course I put minus on that one as well, and it's gone back the other way. Alright, so that's done, and I'll just press enter to come out of it. What if I wanted to change it later? Well, I click on here once, this array thing comes up again, and I can make it, 6, 7 of those this time. Or I can do it by dragging, and that 9 thing stays constant, the spacing. Alright, so I've set it in there, it will stay like that. Alright, a bit unfortunate. 9, okay, 10 of those. Alright, so there you go. So what if I wanted to delete some of those? Well, with the old array, it was easier because it was not one block or one thing as it is now. All these were separate, so you could easily erase it. But now you have to use the control key and then click on the bits that you want to remove. I'm not sure if you can do this actually. You can do a whole lot. No, you can't. So you have to pick each one, which is a bit unfortunate if you want to do a whole lot. Say you wanted to clear out the whole bit in the middle, it will take you a long time. And then all you do is press delete. Well, I suppose erase. You just press delete, let's try erase. There you go, that works. Alright. So that's how you can clear it out. The other thing is, over here we can do a polar array, something around something. And it don't have to be around that circle, but I can show you how it works. I can even copy this out here, so we'll just so it doesn't have to be on top of that. So we can actually array this around this. So if we go to array, this one here, sorry, polar, I can say, well, I want to array that. Okay, enter. Alright, so what's it saying? The base point. This is important. The base point is actually specified center point, sorry. The center point is the center of that circle. I want to go around that. Alright, then it comes up with this thing again. Alright, so there you have it. How many do we want? I don't know. There's 6 there. Let's go 8, 9 of this. 9 of them. Right, so, and you can do other things. Like you can say, well, I don't want to go the full circle. I can only do half a quarter of a circle. So you can only do 90. So in there, you squeeze in 6 of them or 9 of them. So I'll just say, well, no, I want less now. I want only 3. So in there, you only put 3. Right? I can change it to 360 again, and you put 3 all around. So now I want more. So you just keep changing it like that. Alright, so again, once you finish, you escape or enter. So if I click on here now, there it is. I can come back along and add one if I want, 9 afterwards. Alright, so it's just a matter of hitting the right command, clicking on it. Look out for this sort of form, I suppose, or toolbar, ribbon, and you can just modify it from there. Really, we didn't muck around with the rest of this stuff. You can do a lot of other stuff as well, but yeah, like one of the things is, this one here. Hold on, sorry, that one there. See what happens with that? Oops, sorry, this one here. See how they rotate? They actually rotate as they're going around. If I click this, they stay. The square stays how it was originally. So that's the one that controls that, and you have to do that in here somewhere. There's a question about it, or an exercise. So that's that. Now, let's move over to copy. One of the other exercises is copy this here to down there, and then do the array. So how do you do that? In the same time, we're going to do the copy command. We'll learn a couple of other things, like the MTP object snap, which does not exist on here or anywhere else. So let's go to copy. We'll copy this thing here, and it says copy it from there and pick it up from the center of it, which the center of it happened to be the quadrant of this circle, which is all well and good if you've got a quadrant of a circle, but how do you find the center of that, or the centroid of that, if you haven't got a circle, if this thing is not sitting on the quadrant of a circle? All right? Easy. If you've got the quadrant of a circle, you go copy, select this thing, press enter, golden rule. Right? Copy, select what you want, copy, and it keeps saying select objects. Well, the only way to move on from that, because you can copy more than one thing, of course, and if things you want to copy more than one, the only way to move on is to press enter. So we press enter, and it says, okay, now give me the base point. What it's trying to tell you is, give me the point where you're going to need, where do you want to grab it from? Where do you want to pick it up from? All right? It's not where most people think, or 90% of people think, is I've got to point to where I want this thing to go. So they immediately come and click down here because they want to go down there. Right? It's not what you want to do. You want to pick it up from the quadrant. Now the quadrant is not coming up because the center is coming up before the quadrant. Plus I know in my object snap that's running all the time, I did not include quadrant in there. So it's not going to come up. So I need to pick it up once from here. And this is a disposable sort of object snap, only use once and then it's not there anymore. As opposed to this one here that's always active. So let's go down there, pick it up from the quadrant, there it is. So then I'll just take auto off and I can put it down here, but it keeps wanting to go to the center again, so I'll click this again and I'll place it there. Wonderful. Enter to finish and we're done. Alright, notice I pressed enter to finish. Alright, as opposed to if I was moving this thing from here to there, say, it would have finished by itself. Let's do the move now before I show you something else. The move command, M for move. Alright, this guy here. I don't have to put M for move enter. If I click it from here, the enter goes in automatically. So if I click here, it says select objects. Yes, here it is. I don't want anymore. I press enter or a space bar. Alright. Now, it wants me to pick it up from somewhere. Again, it doesn't matter where you pick it up from. It depends. If you want to match up this quadrant here with that quadrant up there, it matters. If you knew that you had to move it say 6 along the 45 degrees along here, 6 units, you could just, it doesn't matter where you put it, and I'll demonstrate that in a minute, where the base point is. You can just click anywhere and just type in the direction and off it goes. So let's assume we want to do the quadrant again. But let's just assume though that the quadrant, there's no circle there, so we can't latch onto the quadrant. How do we find the middle of this thing? Well, you can go shift right click and go to this one here, this option here, and this option here, and that one, are not on here. Right? So only place is there, or by typing in MTP. M for Mary, T for Tom, P for Peter. Right? Or M2P. Right? But anyway, shift right click will bring that list up for you, and you can pick it from there. So now, what it's saying is, show me the 2 points that I have to work out the middle of. All right? So that's one point there. Diagonally across is another one, and it automatically works out the center. The other option would have been for me to have drawn a line beforehand along here, and then when I said move, pick this up, enter, gone to the midpoint of that, and then have to erase the line. But it's a lot of work for that. Anyway, I'll run it one more time. Let's go M for move, select this, enter, shift right click, select this, click here, click there, there it is. Now we can go up here, and this time we'll have to do the quadrant because we're going on this particular circle here. There it is. Okay, so that's that. So that's moving it. So notice how the move command, I went from here to here and you finished. I didn't actually press an additional enter like I did with the copy. Copy wants to repeat itself until you press enter or escape. All right. So, but basically they're sort of like cousins. The steps are very similar. And all right, so that's that one there. MTP array we've done. Copy and move we sort of covered, but we didn't cover something else. What was it? Oh yeah, copy and move by not clicking on something. So for example, if I CO for copy and select this one here, if I want to match up that corner there with perhaps that corner there, I have to pick it up from that corner. No use me picking it up from the opposite corner because I won't be able to line those two up. So that's where you pick it up from. That's it. So you just pick it up and place it. I don't actually care, how far I've traveled or whatever. I know I'm going to pick it up from one corner and I'm going to place it to the next. But when it comes to perhaps, and I had to pick it up from that corner. What if I wanted to, let me just quickly, DI for distance, just work out a distance from here, DI enter. From here to here is about 15, just getting a bit of a gauge as to how big this thing is. So let's go to, for example, if I want to, okay, that's 15, I just measured it. What if I wanted to move this to go from here to that, from that corner to exactly that corner? Now, I know that's 15, okay, I could do it two ways. I could go copy or move, doesn't matter, enter, pick it up from here and place it right on there. So there it is. I'll erase this now. That's picking it up from that corner, placing it on that corner. Erase it. Okay. But someone told me that from where this perhaps is, it could be anything, I've measured this, from here, 15 back, is where you want to place it. All right? It's just a measure up that you've done on site or something. So let's go to copy. All right, copy that, enter. Now I don't have to actually pick it up from that corner. I can just say, oh, it's there. Now notice when I'm moving this, that moves with it. However, it's moving a bit, up and down. It's not across exactly. So I can lock it into ortho, so it's only horizontal. So we know it's dead across. It's absolutely horizontal across from there. So as I'm moving this, that's moving. So notice the numbers that are happening down below there. Ortho 6. If I move over to about there, so about there is about 11. It's not quite 15 yet, but if I come to about there, it's almost 15. See that? Now, if I type in 15, I can be just a little bit over like that. If I type in 15 like that, see down the bottom there in the command line, 15 went up. So press enter, it'll go across. And of course, copy command keeps wanting to do more, and I could do one more. I could go do another one at 30 if I wanted to. And there it is. So, so that from that corner to that corner is 15, and from that corner to that corner is 30. So that didn't matter. When you've got a number to copy to or move to, you don't have to worry about where you pick it up from. I could have just as well picked it up from there and gone across 15. It would have worked exactly the same. What I'm saying is, how do you know when to pick it up from a particular corner? It's only when you're matching one object with another object. When you've got a number, you can just type it in and go. And the same thing could have gone, copy that, I'm just quickly running out of time from here, I go at 4, angle 45. I've got 4 units at 45 degrees. And I picked it up from below here. There it is, copied up, 4 units from there to there at 45 degrees. I gave it a direction this time that way. Okay, we'll stop this thing now.